You ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Are you ready for
Oh,
this?
I am ready for this.
I am ready for this.
I'm Freddy ready. You ready, Freddy?
Ready for the ready?
Oh, can I get a what? Can I get a ready?
What?
Or can I get a what? Or can I get a Freddy? Oh,
Woo!
I'm Haley,
And I'm Megan.
and we are.
Cousins!
Yes, we are. Every time we're cousins, it doesn't change.
And still best friends.
And still best friends. We'll let you know if that changes though. So today we wanted to talk about how to graduate school debt-free.
100% debt free.
Give me another 0. 7.
So, how did you graduate college debt free?
I thought you were gonna ask me how did I graduate college. Barely. Almost. I went 4 years in high school, and then I went and played sports at 2 community colleges, and then I went to a university. And so I graduated debt-free by a lot of things. I had a job in college, I played sports and got scholarships, and I also had some academic scholarships that I gotten from high school and also at the community colleges for having good grades there, which was cool. And then I also had some help from my parents and then student loans, which I got to pay off. What did you do, Megan?
So, I had been working since I was 14, so I saved up about $7,000 by the time I graduated high school to pay for college. What is that?
It's a 7.
It looks like a half of a box.
But look, I put a little bend in it.
My last 2 years of high school, my junior and senior year, I did Running Start, which is a program where in high school you skip the last 2 years of high school and just take classes at your community college. So
Smart.
I graduated high school with a Associates of Arts degree and a high school diploma.
Associates of what?
Arts.
Okay.
Not farts.
You said. I was like,
I said
ew.
arts. A-R-T-S.
Associates of Arts, just to
Yes.
clarify.
And so I went into the University of Washington as a freshman with junior standing. So I was there for 2 years and 1 quarter. I paid my tuition for everything, and then my parents paid for about $7,000. I paid $7,000, and I got about $7,000 in scholarships. So
What?
about $21,000 for the first year was paid that way. My second year, I was a resident advisor, so I managed
Which
one of the
short
floors.
is RA.
RA,
The weird person that everybody else runs from because they don't want to get in trouble.
basically a glorified hall monitor. So yeah, that didn't pay anything, but it paid for housing. So I got to live on campus
Yeah, that's
by working as an RA, and that saved about $12,000. I paid my tuition that year out of pocket, and then my last quarter, I just had 1 quarter left, my third year, and I lived with my great aunt on campus for free. I had an on-campus job and paid for tuition out of pocket just from savings by working over the summers and throughout school, and graduated debt-free.
Yeah. It kind of hurt a little bit. That was
I
a
did
really
that.
good
It was
one.
a stinger.
That one stung.
That's how you know it's a good one.
I know. Let's first talk about Running Start. I didn't do Running Start. I knew that I wanted to play sports in college, and I knew that I was only community college good. So I didn't want to use my high school years and not have my community college years. So I did not do Running Start. And I also really enjoyed high school, and I just loved the people and activities and being a part of it. And so I decided not to do it. I think it's super cheap, and I think it's like Megan said, she got to graduate with her associate's degree and her high school diploma at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's 2 years saved, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Running Start. I still got to participate in high school. I still was on the swim team and got to do clubs in high school, but all of my classes were at the community college, so I took 3 classes a day.
Mm-hmm.
I got done super early because I stacked all my classes in the morning,
Smart.
and then I had time to go and have a job afterwards in the middle of the day when most people were still in high
I know.
school.
Everybody's wondering who would hire this girl. I mean, look at her.
But it was fun, and a lot of people think that when you go to Running Start, you miss out on your high school experience, and I don't think that that's necessarily true, because there are still a lot of high schoolers that go to Running Start that
Yeah.
you have a lot of fun with and make good relationships with, and you still can take classes at the high school and the community college as well, so you get the best of both worlds.
That's true.
I just took them all at the community college because I didn't want to go to high school.
She didn't enjoy high school very much.
It wasn't the most fun.
What do you think was different university-wise and community college-wise?
So community college is a lot smaller and the class sizes are smaller. It's a lot cheaper.
Super.
A ton cheaper.
Oh my gosh.
It's easier than the university. The university is a lot bigger. There's a lot more class opportunities to go to because it's, at least the college that I went to, UW, there's about 40,000 students. So there are a ton of different classes. Like, you can take a class in literally anything you can think of. There is a class for it. I think there is, actually. There's some type of weaving. But so there's a lot more variety at university. There's a lot more depth, and but it is more expensive. You can get a bachelor's degree at a university.
True.
You can only get an associate's at community college.
That's true. There are some exceptions though. I know that some community colleges do like kind of partner up with universities and they are able to get their bachelor's. The one thing I think is a lot different with community colleges is way more diverse, in my opinion. Like you have like high schoolers, example is the Running Start, and then you got kids that just graduated high school, and then you have stay-at-home moms and dads, you have people that are switching job careers and need extra classes. And
when I was in community college, I had 2 different classes where they were both 80-year-olds. One was a man, one was a woman. And
what?
Yeah, and they were back in
always
college
learning
in their 80s, 80 years old. And I asked the girl why she was there, and she said, "I just love to learn." So it was fun.
Did you give her a hug?
No.
I think I would have given her a hug. But yeah, I think it's more diverse, and I think, like she said, smaller classes, more intimate. You get to know your teachers better. You get to know your classmates better. A lot of people, it's cheaper because you get to live at home still.
But university is also super fun because you get to live away from home for the first time in your life. For most people, there's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of new friends. There's so much more freedom you have and responsibility. Or not partying. We partied in study parties.
Did you ever party? Like
no,
hardcore?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
I think it just depends on, honestly, what you make of it. Either way, whether you go to university or you go to community college for that, for your education, it's all about what you make of it and what fits you.
Yeah.
I think
there's not one right path. It just depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
And especially also what job you want.
True.
There are a lot of jobs that you don't even need to go to college at all.
Oh, for sure.
But there are some jobs where, like a doctor, a lawyer, or accountant, or teacher, that you have to go to college.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of jobs, especially like if you don't know what you want to do, maybe go to community college, or maybe take some time working for a little bit to try to figure out what you want to do. Like, you don't have to go to college.
Yeah, and I think that's a super valid point, because I know there's a lot of kids that graduate high school and like I kind of knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to do, but there was times where it changed. And I think a lot of kids go through that, where they graduate and they're like, okay, what do? I have to be an adult now. I have to support myself. And instead of spending 30, 40 grand a year at a university when you don't know what you want to do, maybe it's smarter to go to a technical college or a community college or work for a year, like Megan said. So what did you do for work? You were an RA. What else did you do?
I had an on-campus job where I worked at a maker studio. So they had a bunch of 3D printers, they had a laser cutter, they had a bunch of sewing machines, so I taught sewing.
She's super nerdy in that aspect. Like, she sews, she knits, she crochets, she quilts.
Yeah.
It's actually super cool.
It's super fun. And then I also worked at the front desk there.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then in the summers, I lifeguarded and taught swim lessons. That's what I did.
Yeah, there's a lot more opportunity, I think, at the school for jobs than people realize. You just have to seek it out. I was fortunate enough to have jobs in their student leadership board. I was the intramural sports coordinator.
Fancy.
Basically got paid to play sports. It was so much fun. At SPSCC, I was a part of, I was the front desk and kind of ran the events, which was really fun. So go seek them out. There's tons of jobs. There's bookstores you can work out there. You can work at the cafeteria, I'm sure. front desks, leadership, politics. I know that student governments has places, newspaper.
And the thing with having an on-campus job is they know you're a student, so they're flexible and they work with your schedule. Yeah.
Especially if you're like an athlete, they know your practice times, they know your game schedules, and they work with you, which is super, super cool. I've got scholarships.
Scholarships are amazing because it's not quite free money, but it's almost free money.
It's basically free money.
Except that you have to write those painful essays.
They're amazing because it's basically someone investing in you, believing in you, and that's why, I mean, obviously that's why you have to write the letters and get good grades and go do speeches and stuff, because they want to know that they're investing in good students that is worth it.
Yeah.
And
I would recommend applying for every single scholarship that you can and apply for local ones first and then move out to the national ones. Because there are a lot of scholarships that are high school specific, which narrows down the amount of people that qualify for them, and then you have a much better chance of getting them. And most scholarships, you just have to write maybe 1 or 2 essays or just 1 essay for some of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to turn in your transcript with the essay. So just apply for as many as you can, and you'll get money for them. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, like, getting $3,000 for writing an essay is worth it.
I think so.
Yeah.
A good place to start, I think, is your career center in your school, your high school or your college, and go talk to them. They want to help you.
Yeah.
They want
Our high school had a career center where they had a whole list of scholarships that you could apply to.
Yeah.
Anyway, scholarships are amazing because they are I don't know
I think
words.
she just had a stroke.
I don't know words.
It's an L7. Whee!
No, wait, isn't this a 7?
This is the 7. I don't know if it's.
Or is this a 7?
You guys tell us.
I don't know. Which one's the 7?
Which one's which?
I had to pay for books.
Which can be expensive.
So that was probably $50 to $100 a quarter.
What pocket did you use that? What pocket did you
My
use?
left pocket.
Left pocket?
And then
That's a good pocket.
That's where the money's at.
You know when you just see like an older person, and when I say older, I mean older, you just want to like give them a hug because they're just so cute.
Unless you're talking about like hardcore study nights, then yes.
Hardcore study nights? I had so much fun in college. I did hardcore study nights. That is hardcore lame.
But it was fun.
I mean, I believe sounds like blast.
It was. I was the nerd.
I'm not even gonna deny that.
Because you know it's true.
Because I was too busy being like amazing. Handshake? Whoa! Wait, whoa. No, it has to be way more choreographed than that. Let's go like this, ready? No, you have to point it to the camera. See you later!
Bye!